So UFC 311 is just around the corner this Saturday night, and I'm here to give my prediction on the co-main and the main event. Starting with the main event, Islam Makhachev versus Arman Tsarukyan. This is quite a hard one to call. I'm very excited about the fight. Obviously they have fought before and it was a very close fight. But if I'm honest, I do think Islam gets this done. Both Islam and Arman have improved a lot. You know, they've got quite a few good wins. Islam's last win was against Dustin Poirier and then 2 against Volkanovski. And Arman's was at UFC 300 against Charles Oliveira, and he also beat Darush. So both of these fighters have improved a lot, but I just think Islam has improved a lot more. You know, when they first fought, Islam was like a young boy. He looked like a young boy. I really watched the fight recently, and he looked like quite a young boy, if I'm honest with you. Now he looks like a proper man. He looks like he's grown into his body a bit, and I think his striking has just leveled up so much. And that's not to say that Arman's levels haven't risen as well, but I just think Islam being the champ, getting the belt, and doing what he does, it's hard to bet against these Dagestanis, you know, the proper Dagestanis, the ones out of the Khabib corner, you know. I think these fighters are just on another level, their discipline is on another level, and the work rate is just on another level, and the whole game is on another level. Even looking at Islam versus Charles and Arman versus Charles, Islam destroyed Charles. There was no threat from Charles ever. Maybe one knee up the middle or something. If I haven't watched that fight in ages, but I'm pretty sure there was a couple knee scares there for Islam. But let's be honest, there was no trouble there for Islam. He literally knocked him down, jumped straight into half guard, squeezed him, forced a half guard, and then choked him out. You know, it was beautifully done. And you got to remember as well, he didn't only just do it to Charles. He finished Charles when Charles looked unstoppable. He finished Gaethje, he finished Poirier, all the rest of them, Chandler, you know. He looked unstoppable at this time, and Islam made it look easy. I thought that was going to be a quite competitive fight, and Islam shut him down in both ways. He shut him down on the feet and he shut him down on the ground. And I thought this was really spectacular if you actually look into that fight. And then you got Arman, who did beat up Charles. I think he beat him 2-1, maybe even 3-0, but I think 2-1. But Charles was in the fight the whole time. 1, he didn't get finished, and 2, you know, there was threats there. He nearly guillotined Arman in the first few seconds of the fight, or the first minute or so of the fight, you know. So the whole time, Charles was threatening Arman a lot, and they had a very competitive war. Not a war, but they have a very competitive fight. Islam and Charles, it was not competitive. He shut him down. And I know MMA maths doesn't work out, but I'm using it, and I think it's going to work out in this fight. I generally think Islam is just, he's head and shoulders against the whole division at the minute. I really don't see anyone in that division that's going to cause Makhachev any problems at all. I think he's going to run through most of them. In this fight, Arman needs to catch Islam. He can't, I don't think he can like cruise to a decision and beat him. I don't think you can do that against anyone in Khabib's team, really. I think you need to finish him off. Arman has to keep it rangy. He uses kicks. Arman's got some beautiful kicks, you know, and the safest way for him to win this fight, I think, is to keep the distance and throw kicks. And through those kicks, when Islam is trying to break the distance, trying to get through the void, you know, catch him with a few punches. Throw your kicks to throw your punches, if that makes sense. I'm going with Islam in round 4 TKO, even though I think it's highly likely that we do see a decision. You know, I think Islam wins 4 out of 5 rounds, if I'm honest with you. Yeah, Arman's taken him down, and he was the first person to take Islam down, but he couldn't keep him down. And I don't think you're keeping Islam down. I don't think anyone's keeping Islam down, you know. Anyone in the UFC I can see at the minute. So yeah, I'm going Islam, round 4 TKO. Moving on to Merab versus Umar. I think that this is a very tough fight to call. It's very hard to go against Umar. Umar is undefeated. He's Khabib's cousin. I think they all are, but anyway, he's Khabib's cousin. He's out of that corner, and he's not just an amazing wrestler. The guy can strike. He can strike legit. You know, he's got some beautiful kicks, and he's good with his boxing as well. So it's an interesting fight. The only thing is Merab is just so relentless. Do you know what I mean? His gas tank is crazy, and no one's really put on a pace like that to Umar. So if Merab can put on a pace, then, you know, he might be able to get this done. But I think that's highly unlikely. I think Umar wins this by decision or by catching Merab in a submission late on. You know, I mean, Merab's whole thing, in my opinion, is takedown, 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 takedown. To do that against Umar is going to be hard. Not to take him down. You might be able to take him down, but then what are you going to do with it? Because Merab does take people down, but he doesn't submit. There's no submission threat there, really. You know, obviously he's got submission skills, but he doesn't really threat with them. You know, and his whole thing is to knock off your rhythm and to just to score, just score, keep on scoring, get it ticking over, and win the rounds. But Umar is not scared of it. Umar's probably almost inviting him to take him to the ground. So I think Umar's the better wrestler. I think he's the best submission artist. And I also think he's better with strikes. The main thing that Merab has going for him, as I said earlier, is his gas tank. You know, can he wear down Umar? I don't think so. I think that Umar gets it done, and I think he submits him again, third or fourth round. If you think about it, O'Malley won rounds against Merab. So if you're giving O'Malley 2 of those rounds out of the 5, then I think I'm giving more than 3 to Umar, if that makes sense. Just because of O'Malley, the whole time he looked a bit scared, like not of Merab but of the takedown. He doesn't want to be on his back. Get up, get up, get up. And this is what these Dagestanis do to these other UFC fighters. It's all in the mental, you know. I'm going to get taken down. I need to get to my feet quickly. I think the best thing to do is you got to knock them out, really. When they're at this kind of level, you need to knock them out. I just don't see Merab knocking him out. I mean, when was the last time Merab had a finish? Shall we have a look? So I just had a look, and his last finish was a KO/TKO against Marlon Moraes, who is now a firefighter. So that kind of says it. Even though he was a really good fighter, kind of says a lot, doesn't it? But looking here, he literally has one. He has one finish in the UFC, and that was against the guy who's now a firefighter. Which I'm not shitting on Marlon Moraes, because Marlon Moraes was so close to the top. He was so close, but he just couldn't get there. But he's a firefighter now, man. He went on like a 5 losing streak. So yeah. Anyway, I'm rambling a little bit, so let's get this prediction in. I'm going Umar with round 3 submission. I think that Merab is going to take him down. There's going to be a scramble, and I just think that he gets caught in that scramble. So I'm interested to find out. I'm actually really excited for this card. I love it when Islam Makhachev fights. He's one of my favourite fighters right now. I just think the skill level of Islam and the discipline from that region of the world it's near on unbeatable. But we're going to find out Saturday night. If there's anyone to do it, it will be Arman. If Arman cannot get this done, then the lightweight division is ruled by Islam until Islam retires. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll catch you in the next one.